Good morning, everybody. Welcome back to. Oh, Ron is here. Well,
Yeah,
hello.
I'm not supposed to be. I forgot to
No,
take myself off.
it's okay.
But I
Well,
do
come
want
here.
to, I might as well say that it is good to have you back, Becky, and we cannot wait to hear about your trip.
Thank you. Good to
We
be
have
back.
photos. The photos were amazing. And I just can't wait. And Chuck made it a point that he only wanted to do one today just so we could
I don't
talk
even
about
want to do one today, but I will do one just because I need to contribute.
it. Yeah. So welcome back.
Thank you.
Welcome back.
Thank you so much. All right. Well, everybody, welcome to Going on Daily Live. I am Becky, back after about 3 weeks, here with Mr. Chuck Allen. Oh my gosh, Hugo is here. What? Hugo, where have you been, buddy? Okay, well, that's nice. Good morning. So, as many of you know, I have been gone, and it's great to be back. Hard to get back into the grind, I'm not going to lie, but I am excited to be here. I did try
We're excited to have you here. I know that.
I tried to pop in where I could. It was 6 p.m. Africa time when you guys would be on, so I know I popped in the one time. 18 stream streak. Well, that's because I haven't been here in 3 weeks, so that makes sense. But anyways, how's your time been? What have you been up to?
I went to NASCAR yesterday. That's why I look like a tomato right now. I got burned in the sun, and that was a great time. I enjoyed it.
Mm-hmm.
Something I haven't done in a couple of years, so that's
NASCAR
kind of cool.
is so American, like so classically American.
Do you want to know something ironic?
Yes, of course.
The car that won was a Toyota.
Oh, no way.
Yeah, so it's not completely American.
Right.
But it was still a good time. I enjoyed it. We went to the Circuit of the Americas in Austin, Texas, and that's really all I can say about it. It was pretty awesome. I got a new hat that I'm wearing today here on the show.
Yeah.
I love it.
I wonder if there was a single sleeve in sight or if it was just cut off.
Oh, Becky, I was wearing like a hoodie, one of the SPF hoodies, because I'm like pasty as all get out. This was with like 50 SPF sunscreen on my face that I come out looking like this, but I had to have my long sleeve because it was directly in the sun for like 6 straight hours. So I've been conditioning my skin by playing golf a couple times a week without using any kind of like sunscreen or anything. So I feel pretty good.
Where was that in San Antonio?
What? Sorry, my phone started ringing. The NASCAR is in Austin. It's about 45 minutes away, and probably the coolest thing that ever has happened in Austin, Texas, if we're being honest. Nothing else cool happens there.
Okay, good to know.
There you go. Well, so I heard, what's that?
So, well, you look good with a tan.
I appreciate that. I look pasty on my side, and my screen just quit working. So there we go. Shout out to those who gave me a call while I was doing that. Watch this. I'll fix it real quick because I'm good like that. I got all this highfalutin technology stuff right here in front of me. Watch this, ladies and gentlemen. It's your roof at Rio Blanco Roofing and Restoration, San Antonio, and Central Texas premier roofer. It's Jack the Donkey, and Becky. This dude is on fire.
Is he? It's a good decision.
He's become a national phenomenon. People
love.
Yeah, like all over the United States, people are giving Jack his credit, and they're like, "Dude, that's a pretty damn good logo, Chuck. Pretty cool mascot." So,
well, I'm very excited for you.
Proud of him,
and Jack.
That's the greatest thing I've ever accomplished in my life is creating a donkey mascot for my company, and so far he's cool. He's great for social media. He's been eating barbecue. He went to the race yesterday. He fixes chimneys and does roof repairs, and he actually put together an entire sales training that I'm going to do here shortly for some new sales reps. So shout out to Jack the Donkey. There you go.
I love it. Well, it sounds like a lot's happened over the last couple of weeks. As you know, we do a different theme every week. This week is book week.
Books.
It's a tougher one for me because I don't read. I should read. I like to read. I never get.
That's kind of a surprise to me, honestly. Really? I would have pegged you as a reader. I'd have been like, Becky probably reads like 10 books a year.
I seem like way more educated and well versed than that, but I don't know. I start to read. I like it. And then the phone, I'm just like, just let me look up one thing. And then I'm on my phone for 10 hours on Instagram. So
I like it. I understand. I have about 400 books in my library, and I think I've read 3 of them. I love to buy books, and I love to look at them and be like, wow, that looks like it's a good book. But then I never really finish the entire task. So I'll probably be long dead before I read all the books in my library, but I'll probably amass another 200 or 300 just
your
because
legacy,
it's what I do.
Your legacy, everyone will be like, that Chuck, man, he was smart.
Man, they'll be like, he was such an idiot. How did he have that many books? Like, what was he using the books for? Because they weren't for education in any way. And I was like, oh,
right, yes.
They looked cool on the shelves.
They looked good at the time, right?
Yeah, look, I've got a couple books back here in the background. These are people that have been on my podcast that have written books.
You have their books. Well,
those are all my friends there. I've had 42 authors on Keeping It Rio.
Wow,
and 21 of them have been bestsellers, exactly half.
Wow.
There you go.
Like what kind of topics though?
All kinds of stuff. And this is actually what my one topic of the day is going to be about, is the people that I've had on the show that have written books.
Oh.
I don't know if we're at that point yet. I don't want to let the cat out of the bag yet because it should be pretty interesting. But
yeah, that's right.
It'll be a very short segment because today is going to be called Welcome Back, Becky. Yes. Tell us about Uganda. That's the real title of today's episode. So
one thing I will tell you is that lashes do not last in Uganda. I have nothing left here.
Is it because of the intense heat or the humidity, or what is the climate like? Let's just dive right in here. I'm an interviewer. I love interviewing people. Right? So tell me a little bit about Uganda, Becky. What's going on over there?
It wasn't dry. It wasn't humid. It was somewhere in between. If it would rain, then there would be like a touch of humidity in the air. The heat wasn't wild at all. Am I frozen?
Yeah, but I can hear you totally. So I've learned over the course of time that as long as the audio works,
oh no,
your facial expression is very unflattering at the moment. And now Becky has checked out. Ladies and gentlemen, let me tell you a little bit about what's going on here today. We're going to talk to Becky about her trip to Uganda. And now she's back. Now she's back on the left where the leader belongs. And here we go.
Where the leader belongs. That's right. Something with my face is throwing me off. And I was trying to figure out what that was. And I think it's because my camera is mirrored. There we go. This is my actual face, in case you were wondering. Anyway,
it's not the exact opposite that we just saw a few moments earlier.
That's right.
Okay.
So anyways, it really wasn't that hot for being on the equator in summer. I was expecting it to be like scorching. It really wasn't. There were a couple days when people were feeling a little off. The sun was too hot. I don't know. I'm a sun goddess, so I like to lay out.
Y'all are from Canada too. Was everybody from Canada in your group?
We had one American.
Oh, okay. From where?
Indiana.
Oh, Midwest. Come on.
Morocco, Indiana.
I didn't even know Morocco, Indiana was a place. Well, now we do.
It is a place. And how interesting having Americans on your trip, because Canadians wouldn't dare inconvenience somebody working to let them know, oh, you forgot my French fries. My food was cooked wrong. It would be like this. Oh, excuse me. Oh, when you get a chance, like, no worries. You didn't bring out my French fries.
The Americans ruined it for everybody.
Hey, you forgot them. Go get them. Oh, yes, ma'am. We already know we're working on it. Well, where are they?
It's a ma'am too. Oh gosh, even worse. Yeah. I thought it was a guy at first, and that was bad enough. But no, what you had there was called an Indiana Karen. We've got quite a few of them here in the United States. They like to bitch about stuff like their fries being cold, and they don't realize that when you complain about your food and someone takes it back behind a room where you can't see it, the stuff goes on that you don't want to know about. So Indiana Karen, I hope you enjoyed those fries.
Yes.
They were extra salty.
It wouldn't even just be her food. It was anybody's food.
Exactly. They probably, well, Becky, I'm not going to say that because you've already eaten the food, but you know what? What if Indiana Karen caused them to do something to your food? You're completely innocent bystander.
I wouldn't dare send any of my food back. So don't you worry on that one.
Exactly. Because you're smart and you know. I worked in restaurants and I have seen old ladies put hamburgers on the ground and step on them and serve them to kids. So I
What?
know for a fact not to screw with people, because that was the nicest old lady you've ever seen in your life. And I watched her in cold blood serve it straight up to an 8-year-old. So if a grandma's willing to do that to an 8-year-old because they piss them off for complaining about the food, just imagine what happens to a tourist in Uganda from Indiana, of all places, which is already kind of annoying. And now you're out there getting everybody in the entire group hating America. The Canadians think we all represent that. And look, it's my job now to convince Becky we're not all like that.
Well,
I don't do that crap.
And it was just, it's funny because like, I know, I spend a lot of hours a week on this show with mostly, or at least half Americans. And I know we're not like that, or you're not like that. So it was interesting, to say the least, when I'm like, this is how they act. And then at one point I walked into like a roadside store, like a souvenir shop. How much will you take for this? Oh, this many. No, it's not worth it. Okay, well then, how about this
we're
many?
bartering
No,
now too. Okay.
And I don't barter. I went to the market. I just paid what they asked me, and then I had a chat with this lady after, and I said, yeah, I didn't barter. They told me how much it was. 10,000 shillings, which is the equivalent to
it's like $4. Come on,
$3.50 American, and she's like, what do you mean you didn't barter? You have to. And I thought, they need this money a heck of a lot more than I do. So like the mental energy and confrontation that it takes to barter down for $1.
We have that here in America, and it's called yard sales. And these people put all their junk out in their front yard on Saturday mornings, and random strangers drive by and then offer to buy their crap. And Becky, it's like this. Oh, there's a used pair of children's shoes, size 4. You want $1 for them? I'll give you, 45 cents. And it's like, bro, what in the hell is going on here? Like, we don't do that in this world. Why are you in Indiana? Why are you bartering in Uganda, making people think that that's how we are? I don't even know you, but I don't like you. The only American on Becky's trip. I would have been a better representative of our country.
She was lovely. I did very much like her.
She sounds great.
But like, I had to leave like the corner store there, the side store, because I was like, nope, I'm not going to be involved in this. I really should just wear like a Canadian flag on me at all times, because I don't want to be.
You don't want to be considered American. So it hurts me to even say that. Really thanks, Indiana Karen. And she's probably watching the show today because she probably became a huge fan of yours. So if you're Indiana Karen, wink, wink, you know who you are. Becky did not enjoy your presence at the market.
No, at the market.
And at the restaurant where you were complaining about French fries. So.
Restaurants, plural.
Multiple. So you said French fries. Let me ask you a little bit about the cuisine.
We had a lot of Americanized food there. We did go for African a couple times, but for the most part, we ate at restaurants that were
Chili's and stuff.
No, not Chili's. That sounds great. But I did have Mexican food a couple times while there. I had a lot of Indian food. We did eat authentic a few times, a lot of rice, a lot of beans, a lot of stewed meats, exactly what you would think of African
stewed
food.
Meats. That just, you really made that sound unappealing right there to me. Like stewed meats just doesn't, I'm all about a grill. I'm in Texas. We have barbecue here.
Grill.
Like stewed meats is not our thing.
To me, it's like saying meat loaf. Like I don't want that now.
I don't want a loaf.
Once it takes the form of a pan, no, I'm not eating that.
Nope, probably never gonna eat meatloaf again. So let me ask you this.
Yes.
What does you said stewed meats. I'm very curious to find out what kind of meats are we stewing over in Uganda? Is this like, everyday hamburger? Are we eating zebra and giraffe? What's going on? Chicken, and forgive me if that sounds insensitive. I don't even know if they have zebras or giraffes there.
They do. Okay. Chicken mostly, or there's chickens everywhere. Like every village universal. That we went to. Yes. Am I frozen again? Oh my word. What is going on with my internet today, boys?
I feel like you're still in Uganda and this is the
anyway,
Wi-Fi.
I'm just gonna see if it'll.
Whenever Becky's face gets frozen like that, it's always in like the funniest like facial expression. She's like, but yeah, I agree with you guys. I think Becky's pretty cool. She's back now, so
I just
we don't have to talk about her
freezing.
behind her back how cool she is anymore.
Sorry, everyone. I don't know why it keeps freezing. My bad, everybody. We're out of the loop a little bit.
The computer hasn't worked in 3 weeks. It's like, oh, what are you doing?
And I downloaded like 100 movies to go there, and I didn't even open my computer once. So
there you go. That's how it normally happens. I do that all the time when I travel, and then I'm like, just gonna listen to the music instead.
Yeah, exactly. I chatted. Why don't we do this? Why don't we get to our segments, and then we'll come back to African story time?
Sounds good to me.
Okay. So we're talking fun facts about books. This is also me. It's a book week. So what else am I going to do? I don't have a lot of book experience, although right beside me, I've got so many different books. What do we got? Cancer as a Second Option, The China Study, Live for Your or Cook for Your Type. I got all kinds of books right beside me. Have I read any of them? Absolutely not. Hugo says my dad lives in Angola and said that when he was in school, the school always got hit by lightning when a storm went through. Wow. They probably had a tin roof, I'm guessing. Which reminds me. Okay, no, let me get back. We're going to talk roofing.
Our show is all about offshoots. I totally get it.
Right.
We're going to talk about metal roofs here shortly.
Yeah. We'll have to talk about roofing after because you're the guy. So anyway, we're talking books here. Why not do some fun facts about books? And something kind of cool. When we were on our trip, we did a Nile River safari. So we're in a boat on the Nile. And there's this one spot here, and I'll change my background here so you can see what I'm talking about. There was this one spot with a sign. Yeah, like here. Let's see if it's backwards since I've changed my face to be backwards. Dang it, it is.
Indeed.
So here we go. Okay, so can you see? Did it change? Okay, so it says PBM 9026. And that was just in the water. I didn't take it from far back. I zoomed in, but it's in the water. And this is one of the crash sites of Ernest Hemingway, who is an author. But they didn't say Ernest Hemingway. They just said Hemingway's crash site, but he didn't die, ended up killing himself later in life.
Okay.
And I said
I didn't even realize that was his demise. I've learned something totally new and unexpected right here.
Totally. And I said to Indiana, Karen, is that Ernest Hemingway? And she goes, no. I said, oh, okay. So then last night, as I'm doing research for today's show, I come across this little fun fact. And it said, Ernest Hemingway survived anthrax, malaria, pneumonia, dysentery, skin cancer, hepatitis, anemia, diabetes, high blood pressure, 2 plane crashes, a ruptured kidney, a ruptured spleen, a ruptured liver, a crushed vertebrae, a fractured skull, and more, but ultimately died of a self-inflicted gunshot wound. So yes, my friend, PBM 9026 is one of the crash sites of Ernest Hemingway in the Nile River in Uganda.
I wonder which one of those terrible, disastrous injuries happened to him right there at PBM 9026. Was that like a massive concussion, a broken arm?
Maybe
this guy survived everything. Holy cow!
Spleen, kidney, and liver. Maybe it seems like
to rupture your spleen, kidney, and liver all at the same time is like, that's kind of grim. And to survive that.
What happens when you have a plane crash? Probably.
I have now come to respect Ernest Hemingway for his toughness. I thought he's just some book nerd that wrote stories, but this dude survived everything.
He didn't
say polio. He didn't survive polio, so that's kind of weak. But everything else, dysentery.
That's a bad one.
Dysentery is no good. I know for a fact that malaria is not good. My friend Hunter Ballou got malaria in Uganda. Yeah, he almost died.
To take the meds. I forgot till last evening because you got to take it for a week after you get back. Honestly, I don't have a single bite on me. I don't even think I saw a single mosquito. But anyway, I know it's a real thing. I'm not stronger than the entire country.
Hunter Ballou, is that what you're saying?
Hunter Ballou, that's right. And friends, yes. Because a lot of people do die of malaria over there. I just never happened to see a mosquito anywhere that I was.
I think that's a great problem not to have while you're there.
Yeah, that's totally fair. Totally fair. So yes, top 20 facts about some books. I don't know who considers these the top 20. They're kind of random. Do you know that the fear of running out of something to read is called abibliophobia?
I
Which is
actually
not a
did know
case.
that. Yes.
Oh, well, it's not a case in your house since you have 400 books untouched.
Plenty to read. No
Plenty to read.
abibliophobia going on over here.
Yeah. The world's smallest book is called Teeny Ted from Turnip Town.
All right.
And it's in the Guinness Book of World Records, and it measures 100 micrometers or micrometers by 70. I don't even know how big that is. It's not big, I'm guessing. How do you
Smaller
even
than an
read it?
iPhone, folks.
It has an ISBN number, so it's a legit book. Someone looked this
Imagine
up.
reading that. That would be terrible. What do you think it is? If it's that small, is it like just a short story, or is it like 80 million pages long?
And it's just like this big. I don't know.
Yeah,
Teeny, what did we say it was? Teeny Ted from Turnip Town. Okay, we're Googling this. Let me look it up.
Teeny Ted from Turnip Town. Say that 5 times. Teeny Ted from Turnip Town.
I can. Right. It says it measures just 0.07 millimeters by 0.1 millimeters. So like for you guys on Imperial, you don't even know what that is.
No, I do know what that is. It's tiny. And this brings the question to mind. How do you read that book? Like, who has read that? I have a hard enough time with regular books. I got to be like, all blind and stuff. I got bifocal contacts. I can only imagine trying to read something that small.
But it really poses the question, why?
Why? Exactly. Why would you write a book that small? What was the point?
What was the point?
What were you trying to accomplish there? Is that like, hey guys, I'm the small book guy? Like, was that just going to be your thing? Like, you guaranteed a place in history, because here we are talking about teeny tiny Ted from Turnip Town, or whatever it was.
Ted from Turnip Town, that's right. And he is a turnip, funnily enough.
There you go.
So, this is a nice fact. You'll love this. A nice piece of American culture. There are 4 law books in the Harvard University Library that are bound in human skin.
Hell yeah.
But why?
Why not? I mean, if you can bound a book in human skin, why would you not? Do you need an actual reason?
I suppose you bind it in beef, in cow leather.
Yeah.
Why not human leather?
Why not?
I don't know. I just feel like you touch it, you're now possessed. I don't know. That's
I mean, it's law books. You're going to be a lawyer. I mean, we can put all these things together. I'm not a mathematician, but 1 + 1 = 2. So if you become a lawyer and you handle books that are made out of human skin, you probably become a pretty bad person. And I think most people will look at lawyers and say,
do you think?
You're not the people of the year.
Yeah.
I think that's the whole point. I think maybe lawyers are supposed to be good, but they touch these books and they go evil. They go rogue on us. And this is why lawyers have a bad reputation.
Yeah, I guess.
That and they screw people.
I guess so. But I don't know. I just don't think that there is a particular reason for needing skin, like human skin. It doesn't, to me, it doesn't make sense.
Well, I teach the sales trading all the time, Becky, and I tell people there are 3 reasons for every purchase. Mm-hmm. It's a want, it's a need, or it's the right thing to do. So in this case, it's not a need, definitely not the right thing to do. So anybody that's bounding books in human skin, it's a want. They're sick people, and that's what they're doing.
Yeah, okay. Well, you're right. And as I go further into my deep dive into
there's more.
All things conspiracy.
Where does the skin come from? It's not hand skin, is it?
Who knows where it comes from? I don't know. And who was it a cadaver? Did they donate their body to science? I tend to feel like probably not.
No, if I was going to have my human skin as a book cover, I would want to be alive so I could tell people about it for sure. So I would probably end up cutting off my arm or something, donating it to the cause, and then walking around and being like, did y'all see green eggs and ham? It was actually green arms and ham.
Oh, I think a skin graft would probably be a little bit safer than just cutting your arm off, surgical.
Yeah, but I mean, how committed are we to this? We're making a book out of human skin. You got to be all in.
You're totally right.
Yeah. You got to be all in on this. There's no coming back.
There's no coming back from this. Nasty. Okay, sorry. I'm changing my background again here.
Something much happier now. This is the site of another crash scene potentially.
It's right near that PBM sign. This is the Murchison Falls.
Oh wow, that's the view that you've got of the water there. That's stellar.
This is up the falls. Yeah, you can actually go to the top of them, and for whatever reason, my group did not go to it, but I wish we had. Next time.
If you would have watched last week's episode, you would have heard my story about how I jumped off of one of those canyons and almost drowned in Hawaii. No, I almost died there. And when I look at this, you know what this reminds me of? The picture in the background? I think you'll love this. Probably several months ago, you did a story about what is that thing called? The hurricane that like wiped out the entire community there. And like all the people were down in that little elevator shaft and they all had to get up before they died and they all got out. So that's what this reminded me of. An instant typhoon, hurricane, whatever that's called.
Interesting.
I'm sure it was peaceful water. It just looks choppy from where I'm at.
No, it was pretty choppy. It was pretty choppy. This is actually the most powerful falls in the world because it's so narrow. It's only 7 meters, which is about yards. Meters and yards are comparable. So 21
7 yards is 21 feet.
Yeah.
I can hit a 9-iron 7 yards.
Good for you.
Yeah,
a real happy
not all I got.
A real happy Gilmore. So Hugo, I'm so happy you're back with your fun facts here. He says that the skin comes from executed criminals. Okay. Hospital cadavers of executed criminals.
There you go. The hands of, well, I'm not even going to go that far because this isn't my program and I don't want to offend anybody. But that's not a bad idea.
Again, it poses the question, but why? But why?
I guess if you're going into law school and you open a book knowing full well that the cover is made from dead people's skin, like you're fully invested at that point and you realize this is much more than just looking cool and wearing cool suits.
Yeah,
I'm committing to something very terrible here.
Yeah, I studied on a human skin book. Yeah, that's pretty badass, I guess. Creepy.
What if you're like eating lunch and you're like studying, but you forget that there's human skin on it and you put your lunch on the book
and
then you open it up and you start eating it and it's like, oh, dude. Man. That's even worse than eating just germs because you're also eating dead people's skin. Yeah. And I don't think that's probably very...
To be honest, I don't care for any of it. So...
No.
Yeah.
All right. It is a fun fact, though.
It is a fun fact. Another fun fact, President Theodore Roosevelt was said to have read 1 book a day.
Oh.
So then it also poses the question, at what time of day were you making...
when were you like running the country, bud?
National decisions when you were reading 1 book a day? Were these small books? Was this Tiny Turnip Town book? Or was this Love and War? Like, I'm just trying to figure this out.
I'm thinking it was probably comic books.
Right. Yeah. Let's see here. Do you know that 1 in 5 adults worldwide cannot read?
1 in 5.
That's
wow.
pretty high. And I would say
that's about right for San Antonio.
I was going to say about 80% of them come from the States, I'm sure.
I was going to say they all come from San Antonio, Texas.
Oh, really?
I love you guys.
Do you live in sort of a...
No, actually, people here are fairly intelligent. I mean,
fairly.
Per capita, I think you're
doing okay.
Relatively smart. When I lived in North Carolina in a different place, I would say that was probably more of a...
I would say. Appalachia. I learned a little bit about it. I would say probably. Yep. You have as many book readers as you have teeth. The answer is 0.
Indeed.
Oh, I'm choking on my own spit.
Oh, see, you just got hexed by someone in the Appalachian Mountains that's reading a book right now. They were like, oh, really?
I curse you.
That one person that's reading a book right now.
That's right. My bad. My bad. Do you know that 50 books can be made from 1 tree? Up to 50 books.
From 1 tree, you say?
From 1 tree. Yeah. So that's a lot of paper. That's a lot of tree. I actually expect it to be more.
Me too. I was wondering what kind of tree and what size.
Yeah, I mean, they don't say. It's very vague. It's a very vague description of everything.
But this is just something else that trees give us. Air, oxygen, and books.
Books that sit on my shelf that never get read. Yep.
Exactly. A tree died for those books.
That's true.
I think I'm going to have to go read all of mine now out of respect.
I agree. Hugo says Roosevelt was known for rapid reading and strong retention. Oh, accounts from friends and family say he could read several books in a single day when he had time. That's crazy. He was like Sheldon from Big Bang Theory.
They didn't have Facebook back then, and they didn't have cable. So,
No
I mean,
Instagram.
he was actually a slacker back in the day that was all sitting around reading books while everybody else was out building things. So,
Yeah, that's right.
Maybe we're learning a different side of history. And Roosevelt was actually, he was just lazy. He didn't want to do the actual work, so he pretended to be reading.
Yeah, you're right. Okay, let me give you, how about two more? Two more. The most expensive book in the world is called Codex Leicester by Leonardo da Vinci. Take a guess how much it went for.
I'm going to say $63 million.
In today's cost, it's $62 million.
Chuck Allen, ladies and gentlemen. I know what's up.
So it was purchased in 94 for 30.8 million, but with, today's monies, it would be
somehow it's doubled in value in 20 years.
And it was bought by Bill Gates, who
well, that's not inspiring at all.
No.
That was like his lunch money.
Yeah, literally. I wanted someone who saved and saved and saved and saved, not someone who was just like,
let's go beat up Bill Gates and take that book.
We should.
We need it more. Neither one of us will ever read it, but we just want it on our shelf.
For all of the heinous things that he's done, pushing the COVID vaccine, trying to block out the sun, having all kinds of vaccines in third world countries that have killed
mass exterminations are not cool.
For drugging his wife at Epstein Island, for raping all those children at Epstein Island. This is the one that takes the cake, is him spending $30 million on this book.
Oh, I see Bill Gates is in hiding.
Yeah, of course he should be.
Oh, so that's like real. Bill Gates was like doing the... Yeah. I don't pay attention to that stuff because to me it's disturbing. Maybe it's wrong not to pay attention to the news because I want to be completely oblivious, but I don't know anything about what's going on with that.
I've been full conspiracy mode for like 6-7 years now. So this is stuff we were all talking about in 2020. You should have seen my feeds in 2020. You would have been like, oh my God, Bill Gates. And now it's like, yeah, that makes sense.
Well, Bill Gates looks like a perv, so
100%.
Apparently he is
100%.
Now I feel like crap because I'm on my Microsoft computer here, and I'm like,
I know, right?
I don't really want to support that, but this is a badass computer.
What are we supposed to do?
I've been using it for 4 years, so I mean, I guess my guilt has already been absolved.
Right. Okay, I got to find one more. One more. There's so many good facts here. I really should have done them all. We don't have time for that. How about, what is the most banned book in the world? Any guess? In America. Sorry, the most banned book in America.
The most banned book in America. I'm going to say this is going to be something that most people wouldn't expect, I think. Mm-hmm. I was going to say initially like the Bible, but I don't think it's going to be the Bible, not in America.
No.
I don't think it's the Quran. No. I think it's going to be To Kill a Mockingbird.
No.
Oh. All
right. Good guess, 1984, Ron. It's Harry Potter.
Harry Potter's the most banned book in...
I mean, America has a very high Christian population, so that makes sense. I was never allowed to read it as a kid myself. It says that many Catholic schools have banned it due to witchcraft and spells, and that makes perfect sense. My kids were never allowed to watch it, although they watched it at their dad's house. But yeah, the most banned. But it is also on a different website that I saw, not this one, so I don't have the exact fact, but between that and the Bible and some teachings of Chairman something from China, those are the 3 most read books ever. So
really?
Yeah.
I've never read any Harry Potter books. I don't even know what they are, but to find out that they've been banned in the USA is like, that's mind-blowing.
Yeah, totally.
That's probably why they're so popular, though. That's what happens. You ban things. Back in the 30s, we had this thing called Prohibition. I don't know if you've heard of it.
Yes, I have, yes.
Yeah, people started making their own alcohol, getting more drunk. It defeated the purpose.
Drunk. That's right. Getting drunk in secret. That's right.
Yeah. Still goes on to this day in America.
For sure.
Yep.
So, okay, that'll be it just to respect our time today. So why don't you let us know about the things you've learned about writing books?
Okay, so mine's going to go super quick because I do want the rest of the episode to be... Go ahead.
We forgot this part.
Oh yeah, go ahead, Becky. It's
I'm
been weeks
so out of
since
the
you've
loop
done
here.
this, so let's see if you got it.
You are watching us live with maybe Mr. Hugo on Twitch at RI_broadcasting, on Twitter X at broadcasting RI, and of course YouTube Kick and Rumble at Rhode Island Broadcasting. You can watch us live every morning minus Fridays at 10 a.m. Eastern. You can also listen to us after the fact at Spotify, Red Circle, TuneIn, iHeartRadio, and Amazon Music at RI Broadcasting. You won't get to see our beautiful faces, but you will get to hear our beautiful voices. You can also follow us on socials at MeWe, TikTok, LinkedIn, Parler, Space, Hey, Gab, Patreon. Of course, get on our Patreon, RI Broadcasting. See, these graphics have changed a little bit. You can follow us on Facebook at Going On Daily Morning Show. That is, you don't have MeWe, I'm sure, but you probably have Facebook. So just go ahead and follow there. You can also support the show and get all the information I just talked about at rhodeislandbroadcasting.net. It has everything there, including everyone else's shows, including polls, including ways to donate to the show. Everything and anything that you can think of is there on rhodeislandbroadcasting.net. Now, Ron, are we doing... there was a little bit of a freak out this morning. Are we doing the QR code? Are we doing the poll for March? I don't know if we are.
I already know who's going to win, so it's cool.
Okay, so tell me, who won for February? Do we know? I don't even remember.
I think it was X-Files, but I'm hoping it was Buffy the Vampire Slayer.
Right.
I stayed up one night and voted 942 times.
Okay, so X-Files won. 77% for the
77%. So someone else stayed up and voted for X-Files like 3,000 times. Touche. You win. Your effort was greater than mine.
So 90s television shows. That's good. X-Files is iconic. Tell us, Ron, what will be the March poll?
It's going to be a good one.
I'm going to guess it's probably like 2000.
Oh, you're wrong.
60s actors. Okay, so I don't know any.
Okay, maybe I'll try to go off memory here. We had John Wayne. We had Sean Connery.
Clint Eastwood.
We didn't have Clint Eastwood. That would be a good addition.
Oh, you've done this?
It was John Wayne. It was Sean Connery.
Mm-hmm.
It was
Roger Moore.
Some dude from a funny show. Jack Lemmon.
Oh, Paul Newman, Sean Connery, Jack Lemmon, Steve McQueen. Okay, and Betty White. Oh, Betty White, Hugo.
I feel like Betty White's already in the Hall of Fame because I think the Golden Girls cleaned up a couple months ago, but to go in individually would be cool too. But Betty's not actually a nominee this week.
That is a power move.
This is all dudes here. She would for sure win if it was just like regular regular can play.
Yeah, Sean Connery's gonna win. Yeah,
John Wayne's gonna win. John Wayne's gonna win.
You know what? I really enjoyed Paul Newman's salad dressing, so maybe I will vote for.
And Paul Newman's a great race car driver in his day as well.
Yeah, and Ron loves Steve McQueen. Ron loves him. So yeah, that'll be interesting. All right. So, anyways, you can vote there, rhodeislandbroadcasting.net. So tell us, Chuck, what have you learned about writing novels and writing books?
Well, Becky, I'm glad you asked. Let me tell you a little bit about what I've learned over the 250 episodes of doing my Keeping It Real podcast, which, ladies and gentlemen, check out episode 250 this week on Rhode Island Broadcasting. It was a great episode. But I told you earlier, I've had 42 authors on my podcast. Several of my personal friends have written books. Many people are complete strangers. I don't know how I find them or how they find me, but we go, and yes, Keeping It Real episode 250 will air today at 2 p.m. on Rhode Island Broadcasting and all those channels that Becky just mentioned. So can't miss that. In this 42 episodes in which I've had different authors, one common question that I love to ask is very, very simple. And it's like, tell me about your experience writing a book. And do you know what I've come to find out about people that write books, Becky?
No.
Everybody does it differently.
I can imagine.
Two books are the same, right? So in this experience, I have had people who literally have gone like, one was a very nice lady named Kat. She lives, but she didn't mean to live in this very crazy island called Vanuatu in the middle of the Pacific, which is a 90% no water or electricity island, basically a third world type country. And they've got the most damaging storms in the history of the entire world happen there. So that was cool. In order to get to this place in her mind, she actually had to go to this island to write this book, like in
Wow.
Serenity and whatnot. And she got stuck there. Now
Oh,
she
wow.
lives there because she couldn't get out. Another one of my buddies wrote a book where he said 2 weeks, he marked off his calendar. He got in his car. He drove to Colorado up in the mountains. He's in a tent for 2 weeks by himself.
Wow.
And he wrote a stinking book. Other people have just said, you know what? I told this ghostwriter what to do. I gave it some points and it wrote the book for me. There are so many different ways to write books. And I say this because I think I'm about to write a book.
Are
I've
you?
been getting these emails the last couple weeks from this guy. And I know it's a spam, but I get attracted to spam sometimes and I get caught up in this. And this dude's like watching the podcast and he's calling out my guest by name. Like, your guest, Brittany, was awesome. I think you would be great if you wrote a book. So I've been toying with writing a book for several years. And here's how I'm going to do it. I am going to basically have ChatGPT do it for me. I'm just going to tell it my story and then let it like transcribe that to the world. So everything's spelled correctly. Everything's going to be great. And I'm actually not going to have an interesting story about going into the woods or anything like that. No. I already know my story. It's going to be awesome. It's going to be a bestseller, but I'm going to write mine with ChatGPT. So there are many different ways. If you were going to write a book about let's just say your trip to Uganda, you're going to write a book. Right. You met people there that changed your life and you want the world to know. How would you go about doing it, Becky? What would you do if you're writing a book? Would you just sit down and start typing? Would you think it out?
Sit down and start typing. I remember being in school and it'd be like, hey, you have to write a short story. You have to write an essay. You have to write whatever. Be like, here's this rubric of what you must follow. And here's the planning page. And here's the rough draft. And I would never do that. I would just dive in. And I was always very good at it.
Down.
Just start, I've also thought about it. I don't know what I would write, but I like to write. And so I thought, maybe one day, but I would literally wing it. It would just be and wing.
I think that's the best way to go.
I think so.
That's the way I would do it too. And I can definitely appreciate that because, hey, there are many different ways to write books. And that is things I've learned about writing books on my podcast.
Totally.
I told you this would be the shortest ever in history for a topic. So now, ladies and gentlemen, let's segue back into our previous conversation. And I'd like to know a little bit more about the trip to Uganda. Yeah. I'd like to know a little bit more about the people that you met, the things that you saw and did while you were there. We saw Hemingway's crash site. What other things do we have to?
You know what? All of these pictures that I have here, dang it, they're all landscape. Well, this was a monkey.
Is that a baboon over there on the right?
It is a baboon, but you know what? It's horizontal, or it's portrait, not landscape. So let me change it to a.
I see him over here. Oh.
So here I am. So this below me here, this is a picture of a hippo that I took over by you. That's a picture of a baboon that I took. That was that same one I just tried to post. Nice. He jumped up on my car and what do we got here?
Look at this, ladies and gentlemen. We've got
a slideshow. This is fun.
Now my face is covered by a hippopotamus, which is cool.
Yeah. So we did a couple safaris. Now, I wasn't there for sightseeing, as we know, but we spent the last couple days on safari just to lighten it up a little bit. It was heavy. It was a heavy couple weeks there. But we did 2 land safaris and we did 1 water safari, which was amazing. If you're an animal lover like myself, so cool. Seeing giraffes, seeing lions, seeing baboons, crocodiles. See, there's this guy, there's my car. I'm standing literally like 4 feet away from this thing. Basically the front seat between me and this car or this monkey. And I'm like, no, you get off. But I'm also like, should I touch it? Will it rip my face off? It might, but it looks really nice and pleasant. So I really had an inner battle with this one.
Did you decide to touch the monkey or no?
I did not.
Oh, do you regret that now?
Yes and no. I like having fingers. So, I mean, there's that, which, is like a plus for my decision. I don't like bugs, which I would imagine he's got like lice and stuff.
Yeah, probably.
But yeah, he's got a baby. You can see right with him here. There's a little baby, or with her.
Oh, it is a baby. Okay. I was like, what's going on here? But now I see.
Yeah. They were chill. Like I think they're just so used to having people around. that they're like this. Now, this was not in the towns. I was in Kampala, I was in Entebbe, I was in Gulu. There is not monkeys wandering around like you would think. One drive in a village, we saw one monkey in a tree, but it's like that's not what you see. You see chickens, you see goats, you see turkeys, tons of goats though, like tons of goats. But yeah, like this here, this picture behind me, this was a couple of my team members, Elizabeth and Charla and Ruth here. And these people here were a couple of these were moms, a couple babies. So what we had hosted on this day was a street child event. So it was supposed to be originally we planned for 60 street kids that the pastor of this is a church right here. The pastor had invited 60 kids. But, you know, have you ever heard of the word African time?
No, I haven't. Well, please tell
African
me.
time is like if they tell you to be somewhere at 10, you're showing up at 1. It's kind of the same for like math as well. Oh, it's going to be $100. Oh, it's like $1,000. Oh, there's going to be 60 kids. No, there was like 275 kids that showed up. So naturally, like we didn't have nearly enough stuff for all of them, but somehow we had enough food to feed all the children and the moms. But yeah, a lot of it was street kids. Now I say moms, street kids don't have moms, but there was moms of the village that came to help out. Do they eat goats in Uganda? Yes, they do. We had some goat and it was delicious.
Oh, we do here in Texas as well. I think I'm going to have some Mediterranean grill for lunch now. It's got me all hungry.
Here's a tree on safari. As you can see, it looks like exactly what you would picture from Uganda.
It does. That looks like it would be a National Geographic. Like, totally. What an amazing photography job you've done here.
Oh, thank you. Yes, Samsung. So anyway, the street night, that was our first event that we did. And it was heavy. Like I didn't know how affected I was going to be because I'm not super maternal. I'm not like super into children by any means, but I met this one boy named David and I wish I'd posted a photo of him. He begged me to take him to Canada. He begged me. And I burst into tears because I thought this boy is my kid's age. There's a giraffe right there.
Yeah.
He begged me to take him and I thought my kids are this age and yet this kid lives on the street, has no idea who his parents are or where they are. He's got like scabs all over his mouth because he had some sickness recently and he was so sad. And so I really, instead of doing anything at this event, we were doing like glitter tattoos and little sticky tattoos and games and nail polish, you know, like all different stuff. I ended up just not doing any of that. I just hung out with this kid the whole time. And it broke my heart. And I wish I could have found him again so that I could have sponsored him to go to school because at least then he'd have somewhere to live. Couldn't find him again. Him and this boy, Patrick, David and Patrick, if you're watching, I don't know how you would be.
I guarantee they are.
I hope so.
I guarantee all those kids are gathered around the TV right now.
That's right. Well, what TV? They live on the streets. But so this crew here, this was at one of the schools. So we went to a bunch of different villages. This was the day that everyone was like dying of heat. It was a warm one today. This guy in the yellow here, his name is Sunday. He is one of the adopted sons of Kira, the lady who we had, like she runs the event. And so when she was 18, 19, she moved to Uganda, worked in an orphanage, and he was one of the little boys there. And so now he's an adult, has his own family, and he works for her. And so she had him come to interpreting for us the languages of Choli in these villages. So these are all kids who luckily get to go to school. School is very expensive in Uganda. You know, something like $300 and some a term, which for them is like unheard
millions.
Of. Millions, literally millions. So these guys, you can tell who's in schools because they're all in uniforms. Girls wear skirts, boys wear pants, even though, you know, like this little one right in front here, that's a girl. She's got a skirt on, but she has a shaved head. They all shave their head. The odd one will have braids, but very rarely. Most of them have shaved heads. It's cleaner. It's less hot. And then everyone
got it going on. I know.
You get it.
It's not less hot either. I'm just saying.
Yeah, no. If anything, it's more hot because you're burning your head. It's funny because my shoulders started to peel at one point. You can't really tell now. But our driver, he looks at my shoulders and he goes, "Oh, Becky, what happened?" And I said, "Sir, this is what white skin does." I'm like, we don't get to absorb all the light like you do. I get it, and then I peel. This is a little fellow in, actually, I think this was a girl. now that I'm thinking about it. This was in the last village that we were at. Again, we would just go to all these different villages. They would put on some sort of a show for us or some sort of an event. They would speak, they would dance, they would talk, they would tell us what their needs are. Because it was a mission trip, there was a lot of like prayer and stuff, that they would ask for. A lot of Christian beliefs out in Africa. But that being said, there's also a lot of witchcraft in Africa. And so at one point, we went to one village and they brought these two families up. They had both lost their children the week prior. Two 4-year-olds went missing from the village, kidnapped by a witch doctor who then murdered them both and sacrificed them to the devil. And so, I mean, there's some very real things that go on there. And I mean, it happens everywhere. I can't say it's just Africa. These sort of heinous crimes happen in Canada and the US as well. But, witch doctors are very prevalent in Africa, and it's scary. At one point, one literally showed up at one of our events, and it's one of my street boys right there. But yeah, it was very, very sad to hear about this because you're not expecting to hear that. This family was so distraught and they asked me for money, and we have to be very cautious who we give money to, because you give it to one, everyone is like begging you after that. So I put it on my Facebook, like, I'm collecting money for this family. I do have a trusted source out there. He is the government counselor, like the area counselor. He's also a pastor, and he's also an adopted son of our leader. He is very trusted. So I am doing a fundraiser to collect money for these two families who have lost their child. Literally, like, our dollars, like your dollar, one American dollar is 3,500 shillings. One, or 2,500 Canadian is one Canadian dollar is 25 or 2,600 shillings. So it's a huge difference. Yeah. And Hugo's saying maybe make a GoFundMe. I was thinking about that. I don't know if you guys do e-transfers in the States, but that's how I was also thinking. So I'm trying to figure something out. And I know people say, well, there's a lot of people locally that need help. Why give money overseas or to other people? The fact is, in Canada and in America, we have resources. There are programs for people. Yes, not everyone takes advantage of it, but there are options. There are food banks. There are homeless shelters. There are things like that. They literally have nothing, like nothing in Africa. And it was heartbreaking. It was really, really eye-opening to see people living in such poverty. Go to Rhode Any donations, just say it's for Becky's fund, and we'll be more than happy to send it. That is very cool. Thank you for doing that, Ron. Yes, Rhode If you feel so inclined to donate, literally $5. Like, one of our girls on our team has told people, give up your Starbucks for one day and send it. If you feel so inclined, it will help people. Message me, Becky, maybe collecting some money for them. I would love that. So yeah, like we're wanting to raise money for that. The thing is, like, there's so many people in need and so many people need something. So like, another thing is, like, we went somewhere that had a school. And again, school is very tough to get there. It's so expensive for kids. Most of these kids are walking 10 kilometers each way just to go in the heat, risking being kidnapped by witch doctors. It's very dangerous. And this one village had never seen white people before. We were the first white people ever.
Surprise!
Yeah, it was cool. But they have a school already built, but they can't afford a roof on it. And so they're looking for...
I know a guy.
Yeah, they're looking for sheet metal, tin sheet, whatever, I don't know, pieces.
They're looking for standing seam is what they're looking for. And ladies and gentlemen, if you contribute enough to the GoFundMe, I will go to Uganda and I'll put the standing seam roof on for this community.
That would be cool. I wish I had a photo of the roof. We do in our group chats somewhere, but I don't necessarily have it on my phone. Everyone was taking photos of everything, so I would just let everybody do that. But maybe I should be doing another episode on Thursday with more information about this. But yeah, it's pretty sad. Like, these people said to us, we could ask for your money, your prayers, your this, your that. They're like, oh, really, all we need is is a roof. Like that's all we want is a roof. And so it's very humbling to realize like how much you have. And of course, like I come home and the next day I hadn't eaten. So we were at the rec center and I got Starbucks and like you almost feel dirty eating something like that, you know?
I always feel dirty eating Starbucks.
Well, totally fair.
Always.
Totally fair. But it was like, do I actually need to spend $12 on a sandwich and a coffee? Like, I don't know. And my daughter said it best. We can't help where we were born. Like it's not our control
Not
where
our
we were
fault.
born. But I don't know. I'm just being mindful of things that I spend my money on. Let's just put it that way.
I can appreciate that because, like you say, that's a big deal. So before we wind up our show, I do want to ask one final interview question. I never get to interview on this podcast, which is awesome. Your entire trip, you were gone for 2+ weeks. You've seen places and things and people that, you know, many people will never get to see, never get to experience. I always like to ask this one very poignant question, which is, tell me, this is not really even a question. It's more of a, tell me, the most impactful person that you met during your trip. Who was it?
Impactful person.
And it may have been the little boy, David, that you already talked about. I don't know.
Yeah, I would have to say between David and Patrick, those two boys, like Patrick had so much joy. He was so funny and he just kept dancing with me. And he's 15 and he's like, you have a 15-year-old daughter. I'm going to marry her. And I'm like, okay, like I support this. And then David was so sad and they were good friends. And between the two of them, like they just completely stole my heart. The other one is this boy Raymond. If you go on my Facebook, you'll see I actually did sponsor him. So the next day I went back to that church to look for Patrick and David. Could not find them. That's where I met them before. But this little boy showed up, Raymond, and he followed us out to the bus. And we were going to go look at one of the orphanages or children's homes and school. And he followed us to the bus and he didn't have any parents with him. There was another teenage boy there with his mom and siblings who wanted to learn more about going to school. But this little boy Raymond showed up with nobody. And the pastor was like, oh no, go on. And then I was like, well, bring him. Like, why? So he hops on the bus. And I mean, he's just little. He's got no family with him. Like to think like your kid just gets on a bus and just goes, like you have no idea where he is. How is he even getting home? Is this safe? Is he going to be put into human trafficking somewhere? But he came on this bus and he witnessed the school with us and he was so excited watching everybody. And so he was sitting beside me. So I shared my fruit with him because I gave us some fruit while we were there. And I shared with him and I was asking him questions. Oh. This was from one of the villages. This is a traditional dance. This is like a mating dance.
Oh, that's a mating dance. All right.
It's very sexual, actually.
I was going to say, I see the girl in the blue there kind of,
yeah,
she's shaking it a little bit.
Totally.
All right.
But yeah, so anyway, I said to Raymond, like, are you sure you want to be away from your family? Because they live at these schools, they're boarding schools. And yes, I do. And I'm like, okay, like, I don't know any detail about anything, but I said to him, I will sponsor you to go to school. And he was like, really? And I said, yes, I will. And I remember our leader kept saying, like, promise all you want to these kids, but you better follow through, because if you don't, you're going to break a kid's heart, because her husband is from Uganda. Ron says, didn't know how it would work. That was not as planned. That's fine. It's all good. The video was a welcome break. For
awesome.
Topic. But yeah, our leader had said that her husband had grown up in Uganda, and some white missionary came and promised him a bike. I'll send you a bike, and then disappeared. Never saw him again. And so every day, she said, for like 20 years, this kid went to the post office looking for his bike.
Oh.
And it never showed up. And she was like, I don't care what you guys do, but if you promise a kid something, you better follow through. And so I worked with, one of the guys there, the one that I trust, the one that will get the money to where it needs to go. And he found me a school. It wasn't the school that we had originally looked at, but it was a different school. It ended up being a heck of a lot more expensive than I was anticipating, but you know what? That's fine. and he started school yesterday. Today's his first official day. I got a picture from his sister. His sister has WhatsApp, so
Nice.
and there's 5 kids in their family. And I said, "Are you sure you want your brother to go like away from family?" And she said, "We have 5 children and a single mom. We can't afford him even living here." And that broke my heart because, it's birth control is not a thing in their culture. And also too, I've learned that if you're married, if you're the woman, you can't deny your husband sex. If you do, he can go get another girlfriend or wife. And so these women are just constantly having children and they can't afford it, and it's heartbreaking. And so yeah, they said, yeah, we're okay with him going because we literally can't afford anything otherwise. And yeah, that really did break my heart. And so I sent him, and he is so happy. We FaceTimed the other day, and I was with my parents when we FaceTimed him and his family. And his sister said she goes, "Let me talk to your mom." And I said, "Okay." And so I put my mom on FaceTime, and she goes, "Thank you for raising your daughter." And I was like, oh, it just like these people are so grateful and so thankful. Like it cost me about $900 for the year, which was pretty pricey, but um, I probably spend that at Starbucks, quite honestly, if not more. So that's the way that I'm looking at it. Ron, I just sent another picture in the group if you want to put that up. That's my little guy Raymond, and he is oh yeah, here it is. Well, you can't really see, of course, it's right where book week. There we go. This is Raymond. This is him at school yesterday. This is his uniform. You can see he's very happy.
Heck yeah, that's what I'm talking about. That's a life-changing moment right there. Totally. You did that. Congratulations.
Yes, I did it. And it wasn't to self-serve by any means. This boy, I just thought he was so bold to show up at this bus with all these white people who he's probably never seen before, to sit there quietly on the bus and not say a word, just so he could learn about the school in hopes that somebody would send him. And we did. And so I couldn't not help him. And I'm still sad that I wasn't able to find David and Patrick, because I would have loved to have sent them. I already think that there's gang affiliation there. Both of them had tattoos already, 14 and 15 years old. One of them had a tattoo of a gun. And this is what happens. They go on the street and they look for this community, and it ends up falling into gang territory. And it's so sad. Like if I could have adopted both of these boys and brought them back, I don't know where they would have lived or how it would have worked, but I would have if I could have, but I was still very honored to meet Raymond and get to know his family over these last couple of weeks, just through text and phone calls. And yeah, I would say that him and those other boys were the most impactful. And I mean, there was amazing things that we did. Like and I don't mean like amazing, like we're so great, but things that like impacted me. Like we went to another orphanage, a boys' orphanage. Some of these boys didn't even have names. Like they weren't given names. They're just boy and boy. And we were going to leave and just go swimming because it was so hot and we just needed a break. And then all of a sudden it was like, why don't we take these boys swimming? And so we did. We packed 30 boys on this bus with us. Everyone was like sitting on everybody, and it was hot and it was sticky and it stinks. That's one thing. A lot of people stink.
Yeah. They don't have right guard over there.
Deodorant is not a thing in Uganda. And we packed these boys and we went swimming, and it was so much fun. It was like the best day ever. Just getting to play. Some of these kids had never even been in water before. And some of them were great swimmers. And even their teachers were like, I have no idea where this kid learned to swim. Because, like this is sort of maybe like I don't know, a stereotype, but a lot of Black people don't swim. A lot of Africans anyway don't swim. And some of these kids were great swimmers, doing flips into the water and diving. And it's like, where did they learn that? Especially because like they don't even know if they ever had a home. So like I said, they don't even have names. So like, where did they learn this? But
don't know my name, but I can stick a 450 corkscrew from the high dive, and that's really all that matters in life.
So yeah, we had honestly such a great time. I mean, of course there's drama, as there is when you stick 12, 14 women together in a closed
There was quarters. No drama, I can assure you.
Not from me. I don't drama. Not. Okay. I am, like you're putting these heavy topics, these heavy situations, a lot of like sadness, and you're not sure how to talk about it, and that does get to be a lot, right? Like you get stressed out and you don't know how to regulate your emotions and things like that. Um, and then people start to fight. And so there was a lot of like inner conflict for sure in our team. And that sucked, but it was good. All in all, it was really, really good. I would 100% go back. So if you want to come with me, Chucky, I'll
I'm
take it.
down. Let's go. I'll put a roof
We
on
needed
the school,
we
and
needed some men for sure.
I'll make it a write-off. It'll be a tax deduction for me, and
Yeah,
they will
literally.
have the greatest roof in all of Africa.
Right.
I promise.
And so yeah, one thing, like our leader, she's got a school up there, a village, and I don't know really the details of it, but she might be wanting to do the same sort of thing in other villages now, like trying to develop them a little bit more. And so who knows, maybe that one with the existing schoolhouse might be the next. I really don't know. I can't speak for her, but yeah, it'd be very cool to just see it develop, because like I said, we have a lot of resources. We don't realize how blessed we are in North America. Like there's a lot of poverty. Yes, I know, especially in America, you have a major disparity between wealthy and poor, more so middle class in Canada. But like you don't even know poor until you go into these slums. And apparently we never even went to like the slums of the slums. Like we went to like the average of the slums. So it was life-changing. That's really the only way I can describe it. It's life-changing.
I love it. And that's awesome. That's exactly what we were hoping for 3 weeks ago when you're getting ready to go. It was like, this is going to be a life-changing event, and I'm going to come back different. I'm going to view the world slightly different because of these people. And hey, guess what? It happened.
And it happened.
That's awesome.
So if anyone feels so inclined to even donate your Tim Hortons money, your Starbucks money for the day, $5, go to rhodeislandbroadcasting.net and you can donate there. It will literally, like 100% of any donations will go to helping the family whose 2 4-year-olds were murdered and sacrificed to the devil. It sounds so like heinous to say, but that's what happened. I even saw the pictures of the bodies. You can't unsee that. It was awful. It will also go to the roof, the tin roof for that school, so that kids aren't having to walk. Where this village is, it's too far in either direction to either school. So they're literally, unless they have a school built there, there's no way that these kids are ever going to school. There's also a couple of sick kids that people have been asking me to help with. There's a boy with sickle cell anemia. His medication is about $150, which really doesn't seem like that much. But yeah, so there's a few things that I'm collecting money for just in general. And give if you feel called, and don't give if you don't feel called, and that's okay. But I'm going to just continue to try and raise funds for these people, because literally we are so blessed here, and we have expendable income. Let's put it that way.
There you go. Yeah. Ladies and gentlemen, there's no excuse.
Yes.
No excuse. I love it. This has been an awesome episode. I have had a blast today. And I know that this is just the beginning of your story, of your trip and your adventure. I know you've got other episodes this week, but thank you for letting me be the Monday guy that got to get the questions out of the way that I needed to know the answers to. And
for sure,
always enjoy my Monday show here on Going On Daily.
Yes, same. Thank you for being here, everybody. We will be back tomorrow with, I don't even know who's back tomorrow. It's not me. I think it's Kyle, maybe. Kyle and Sharon. Nice. I am back on Wednesday. Chuck is back next Monday, probably with me. So yeah, we will see everybody then.
Later on, everybody.